You want to outsmart everyone. You believe that means being the loudest voice in the room, the one with the quickest comeback, the undeniable winner of every argument. You think power is a trophy you win in front of an audience, a brilliant flash of intellect that leaves others stunned and defeated. This is the game you've been taught to play. To prove you are the smartest, you must make sure everyone else knows they are not. But this is a dangerous illusion, a child's idea of strength. We all crave that feeling of intellectual victory. The moment when your logic corners an opponent and they have no choice but to concede. It feels like a confirmation of your worth, a validation of your intelligence. In a world full of noise and competition, winning the argument seems like the most direct path to earning respect and establishing your authority. You gather your facts like soldiers, arranging them for a battle you are certain you will win, because being right is all that matters. Consider the typical debate, whether at work or with friends. The goal is to dismantle the other person's position, piece by piece. You listen not to understand, but to find weaknesses, to pinpoint the flaw in their reasoning that you can exploit. Your mind is a fortress, and your words are cannons. Every point you score feels like a small victory, reinforcing the idea that conflict is a zero-sum game. For you to win, someone else must visibly and completely lose. This approach makes you a formidable debater. People may even say you are brilliant. They might hesitate to challenge you openly, fearing the sharp edge of your intellect. You mistake this silence for respect, this hesitation for awe. You stand alone on a self-made pedestal, proud of the intellectual battles you have won. You believe you have secured your position through sheer force of mind, creating a reputation for being undeniably, unassailably correct in all matters of importance. This is the lie we are sold, that power is loud, and intelligence must be demonstrated. We see it in movies, in politics, in the corner office. The person with the most power is the one who commands the most attention, who speaks with the most certainty, and who never, ever backs down. We learn to equate visibility with influence. To be a player in the game, you feel you must be seen, heard, and acknowledged as a force to be reckoned with at all times. So you play this part, you sharpen your tongue, you study and prepare not just to be right, but to be theatrically right. You want the gasp from the audience when you reveal your final, unassailable point. You aim to create a moment so clear and decisive that no one can doubt your superiority. Your ego is fed by these public victories. It's a powerful, addictive feeling, and you have come to rely on it as the primary measure of your own success and influence in the world. You walk away from the argument with your head held high. You won. The facts were on your side. Your logic was flawless. But as you walk down the hallway, you hear the whispers start. The very people who fell silent in your presence now murmur to each other. You won the battle, but something feels wrong. A strange, cold atmosphere follows you. You notice the smiles that don't quite reach the eyes of your colleagues. You are a victor, yet you feel strangely alone. The problem with winning so loudly is that you create resentment, not allegiance. The person you defeated in public will not forget the humiliation. They may not challenge you with words again, but they will find other ways to oppose you. They will work against you in the shadows, where your brilliant logic cannot reach. You have not convinced them, you have only silenced them. And a silenced opponent is far more dangerous than one who argues with you openly. Suddenly, your projects face mysterious delays. The support you were promised never materializes. Information you need is conveniently misplaced. You are right, but you are also completely ineffective. Your direct, confrontational style has left you surrounded by a network of quiet enemies. They smile to your face and offer handshakes, but their actions form a hidden wall that blocks your every move. You are intellectually superior, but practically powerless. The game is being played, and you're no longer in it. This is the first crack in your understanding of power. You begin to question the value of being right. What good is a winning argument if it costs you the war? What is the point of a public victory if it leads to a private defeat? The world you thought was a debating society is revealing itself to be a far more complex and subtle battlefield. The rules you played by, the ones that brought you so much pride, have led you into a gilded cage of your own making. A different voice, a whisper from a distant past, begins to echo in your mind. It's the voice of Machiavelli, a man who understood power not as a stage play, but as a grim and practical science. He saw the world not as it should be, but as it actually is. He would laugh at your public victories, seeing them as the clumsy moves of an amateur. He would tell you that the desire to be loved is a weakness, but the desire to be seen as right is a catastrophe. Machiavelli teaches that human beings are driven by simple, powerful forces: fear, greed, and vanity. Your brilliant arguments appeal to none of these. Instead, they attack the most sensitive part of a person: their ego. When you prove someone wrong, you are not just defeating their idea. You are attacking their sense of self-worth. This is an injury they will never forgive. You have made an enemy for life, all for the fleeting pleasure of a single moment of triumph. The first doubt begins to form. Maybe intelligence isn't about broadcasting your own brilliance. Maybe power isn't about commanding the stage. What if true mastery lies in the exact opposite? What if it lies in silence, in observation, in understanding the motivations of others so perfectly that you can guide them without them ever feeling your touch? This is a frightening thought, because it means abandoning the ego, the very thing you have worked so hard to build up. You start to observe the world differently. You see the person who never speaks in meetings, yet whose chosen projects always get funded. You notice the quiet manager who everyone seems to like and help, even though she rarely gives direct orders. They are not winning arguments. They are not dazzling anyone with their intellect. They are playing a different game, a longer and more subtle one. They are not commanding, they are influencing. Machiavelli's wisdom is not about being evil. It is about being effective. He advises that a leader should appear to be one thing, while being prepared to act in a completely different way. You must appear honest, compassionate, and agreeable. But beneath the surface, you must be a cold and rational calculator of human nature. Your public persona is a tool, a mask you wear to put others at ease and lower their defenses. Your true intentions remain hidden, known only to you. Think of your own desire to be right. It comes from your vanity, your ego's need for validation. Now realize that everyone else has this same vanity. Their opinions are intertwined with their sense of self. To attack their opinion is to attack them. But if you can harness their vanity, if you can make them feel that your desired outcome is a product of their own genius, you will have an ally for life. You will have achieved your goal, and they will thank you for it. This is the unraveling of your old self. The pride you took in your intelligence now seems naive. The battles you won now seem like pointless skirmishes that cost you strategic position. You are walking on a chessboard where you thought you were the king, only to realize you have been playing the part of a loud, aggressive, and ultimately sacrificial pawn. The real king is the one who moves silently, directs the flow of the game, and is never the most obvious piece on the board. You remember a specific conversation where you demolished a colleague's proposal. You felt so smart in that moment, but now you see the full picture. That colleague now leads a rival department and consistently blocks your initiatives. Your win cost you a potential ally and created a determined adversary. The satisfaction of that one moment has been paid for 100 times over in frustration and failure. The price of your ego was your own effectiveness. The core of the problem is this: you tried to change minds with logic. Machiavelli would tell you that you cannot change a person's mind, you can only guide it to a new location. Minds are not fortresses to be conquered, they are rivers to be redirected. You don't blow up the dam, you subtly change the landscape upstream, so the water naturally flows in the direction you desire. This requires patience, not power. It requires insight, not intellect. The second doubt solidifies. You've been fighting the wrong war. You have been focused on the content of the argument, on the facts and the figures. The true master of influence is focused on the context. They are focused on the emotions, the egos, and the self-interest of the people in the room. They know that if you can align your goal with someone else's self-interest, you will never need to argue with them at all. They will become your most passionate advocate. Let's re-examine the meeting room. You see it now not as a debating chamber, but as a web of interlocking desires and fears. One person fears looking incompetent, another desires a promotion, a third is loyal to their own team above all else. Your brilliant idea, presented as your own, threatens them all. It makes them look less competent, it doesn't help their promotion, and it steamrolls their team. Your rightness is irrelevant in the face of their human motivations. Your pursuit of open victory has made you predictable. Your opponents know you will come in with a well-researched, aggressive argument. They know you will try to dominate the conversation. This makes you easy to counter. They can prepare for your attack, lay traps for your ego, and use your own predictability against you. The loudest player is often the easiest to read. The truly dangerous player is the one whose strategy you can never quite discern. The foundation of your world is shaking. The comfortable reality where being smart and right was enough is crumbling. You are adrift in a more complex, more cynical, but ultimately more truthful sea. You are beginning to see the hidden currents of power and influence that move beneath the surface of every human interaction. This is a lonely and unsettling place. It is the necessary wilderness you must pass through to reach a higher understanding of the game. Machiavelli would say it is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. But what he truly meant was that respect for your consequences is a more reliable motivator than affection. People are fickle. Their love can turn to hate overnight, but their understanding of what you are capable of, their respect for your ability to achieve your ends, is a much more stable foundation for power. The greatest fear is of the unknown, of the power you don't display. Consider the lion and the fox. The lion is strong, direct, and powerful. He can defeat any enemy in a head-on fight. But he cannot see the traps laid for him. The fox is not strong, but she is cunning. She sees the traps, she understands the landscape, and she gets what she wants without ever needing a direct confrontation. The lion is feared for his roar, but the fox is respected for her results. You have been playing the lion. It is time to learn the ways of the fox. This new knowledge is a heavy burden. It means seeing the self-interest behind acts of kindness. It means recognizing the subtle power plays in casual conversations. The world loses some of its innocent charm and becomes a grand, intricate clockwork of competing desires. You see the gears turning, the springs coiling, the hidden mechanisms that drive the behavior of everyone around you. You can no longer participate in conversations with simple sincerity. The old you is dying. The you that needed to be right, that craved the spotlight, that measured worth in applause. A quieter, more patient, and far more observant self is beginning to emerge. This new self does not feel the need to speak first. It listens. It watches. It gathers information not about facts, but about people. It seeks to understand the emotional and psychological terrain before ever taking a single step. You start to practice small acts of this new philosophy. In a discussion, you resist the urge to correct a minor factual error. Instead, you let it pass, observing how it affects the conversation. You ask a question instead of making a statement. You compliment a rival's minor point to make them more receptive to your larger agenda later. These are small, deliberate moves, exercises in ego suppression and strategic patience. And you notice something remarkable. By saying less, you learn more. By not fighting for the spotlight, you can see the whole stage more clearly. People become less defensive around you. They reveal more of their true thoughts and intentions because they no longer see you as an intellectual threat. Your silence becomes a vacuum that they rush to fill with the very information you need. You are becoming a master of intelligence in the truest sense of the word. The transition is almost complete. The pain of letting go of your ego is replaced by the quiet confidence of genuine understanding. You realize that the common lie about power, the one that is all about noise and victory, is a trap designed to keep the truly ambitious fighting amongst themselves. The real power is wielded by those who have escaped this trap, who operate on a different plane altogether. You are now ready to hear the core revelation. Here is the truth, the core of Machiavellian genius. To outsmart anyone without them knowing, you must make them the author of your own desired outcome. You do not force your idea upon them. You plant it like a seed. You create the conditions for it to grow in their mind, to be nourished by their own ego and self-interest, until it blossoms as something they believe they created themselves. The greatest victory is the one your opponent celebrates with you. This is the art of invisible influence. It is not about manipulation in the negative sense, but about masterful psychological navigation. Imagine you want your team to adopt a new strategy. The old you would have presented it with 100 slides, arguing its superiority. The new you asks questions. What's the biggest obstacle we're facing? What if we could find a way to solve that? You guide the conversation, letting the team build the solution themselves, a solution that just happens to be your strategy. To do this, you must first master yourself. You must completely detach your ego from the outcome. The credit must go to them. They must be the hero of the story. You must be content to be the invisible scriptwriter, the silent director. This is the ultimate sacrifice of vanity for the sake of power. It requires the deep confidence of knowing that you are the true architect of events, even if no one else ever knows it. People will fight you to the death to protect their own ideas, but they will work tirelessly to support an idea they believe is theirs. When your colleague comes up with the brilliant solution you subtly guided them toward, you must be the first to praise it. That's a brilliant insight, John. I think you've really cracked it. John will now champion this idea with more passion than you ever could, because his own ego is now tied to its success. Think of yourself as a gardener. A foolish gardener tries to force a plant to grow by pulling on its stem. This only damages the plant. A wise gardener does not touch the plant at all. Instead, he focuses on the environment. He enriches the soil, provides the right amount of water, ensures there is adequate sunlight, and removes the weeds. The plant then grows strong and healthy on its own, exactly where the gardener intended. Be the wise gardener of people's minds. This method is so powerful because it is undetectable. It bypasses all of a person's natural defenses. People are naturally resistant to being told what to do. They are allergic to being proven wrong. But they have zero defense against an idea they believe they generated themselves. You are not pushing against a locked door. You are providing them with a key they think they forged to a door they now desperately want to open. This is the essence of outsmarting someone. It's not about having a higher IQ. It is about having a deeper understanding of human nature. The world is not a logic puzzle. It is a psychological drama. The person who understands the characters, their motives, their fears, and their vanities is the one who can direct the play. Your intellect is not a weapon for combat, but a lens for observation. This approach creates allies, not adversaries. When you help someone feel smart, when you allow them to be the hero, you earn a powerful and subtle form of loyalty. They will see you as a wise collaborator, a supportive colleague, someone who brings out the best in them. They will seek out your opinion and value your presence, all without ever realizing the extent of your influence. You gain power by giving it away. Let's be clear, this path is not for the faint of heart. It requires immense patience. There will be times when you want to scream the answer, to show them how brilliant you are. You must resist. It requires a profound control over your own ego. You must be willing to watch others receive praise for your work. You are playing a long game, and the true prize is not applause, but the silent, satisfying achievement of your ultimate objectives. Machiavelli understood that appearances are everything. He wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." You must cultivate the appearance of being harmless, supportive, and perhaps even a little naive. Let others underestimate you. Their low expectations become your greatest weapon. While they are focused on the loud lions in the room, the quiet fox can move about freely, arranging the pieces on the board to ensure an inevitable victory. This is not just for boardrooms and politics. It applies to every area of life. In a relationship, instead of demanding change, you can inspire it. In a family dispute, instead of taking sides, you can guide the parties to a reconciliation they feel they built themselves. It is the art of achieving harmony and progress without the destructive friction of direct conflict. It is about building bridges rather than burning them. The revelation is this: you have been trying to win the game when you should have been focused on designing it. You were an actor trying to shout the loudest when you should have been the director, shaping the entire scene. The ultimate power is not in playing your part well, but in creating a context where everyone else, following their own desires, plays their part exactly as you intended. This is the path of transformation. It begins with a choice. You must consciously choose the lonely but powerful road of the fox over the popular but vulnerable road of the lion. You must choose effectiveness over ego, results over recognition. This is a daily practice, a constant exercise in self-awareness and self-control. It is the deliberate rewiring of your deepest instincts for validation. The first step is to master the art of listening. Not just hearing words, but listening for the underlying emotions, fears, and desires. When someone speaks, ask yourself, what is the unspoken need behind this statement? What is their ego trying to protect? What do they truly want? This information is more valuable than any fact or figure. It is the key to their inner world, the control panel for their motivations. The next step is to master the art of the question. A statement creates opposition. A question invites collaboration. Instead of saying, "This is the wrong way," ask, "Have we considered the potential risks of this approach?" Instead of saying, "My idea is better," ask, "What if there was a way to achieve our goal even faster?" Questions open minds that statements close. They are the gentle tools of the mental gardener. You will now practice strategic concessions. In any discussion, find something small and unimportant to concede. Agree with your opponent on a minor point. This makes them feel heard and validated. It lowers their defenses and makes them more receptive to your larger points later on. You are sacrificing a pawn to put your queen in a better position. It is a small price to pay for a much larger strategic advantage. Compare the two lives. The life of the loud intellectual is a series of stressful confrontations. It is a life of constant battle, of winning and losing, of anxiety about being proven wrong. It is exhausting. The life of the quiet influencer is one of calm observation and silent achievement. There is no stress of performance, only the quiet satisfaction of seeing your plans come to fruition, often with you being praised as a wonderful team player. This new path will feel lonely at times. You will be in a room full of people, and you will be the only one who understands the real game being played. You will see the strings, the hidden motives, the ego-driven maneuvers. This can be isolating. But it is the isolation of the master, not the outcast. It is the solitude of the chess grandmaster, who sees 10 moves ahead while others only see the piece in front of them. The strength you gain is internal, not external. It is not the brittle strength of a loud reputation, but the flexible, resilient strength of deep understanding. You are no longer affected by criticism because you see the motive behind it. You are not swayed by flattery because you understand its purpose. You are a rock in the middle of a stormy sea, immovable because your foundation is in reality, not in the shifting opinions of others. Your transformation is becoming visible, but not in the way you once craved. People don't call you brilliant anymore. They call you wise. They don't see you as a competitor. They see you as an ally. They don't fear your arguments. They seek your counsel. You have become more powerful than you ever were when you were trying to prove your power. You have won the war by refusing to fight the battles. Now, you must integrate this into your life. This is not a theory to be admired. It is a practical tool to be used. Look at your current goals. Look at the people whose cooperation you need. Stop thinking about how to convince them. Start thinking about their world. What do they want? What do they fear? How can you frame your goal so that it becomes the obvious solution to their problem? You were once a hammer, seeing every problem as a nail. Now you must become a keymaker. Every person is a unique lock. Your job is not to break the door down, but to study the lock. Observe its mechanisms, understand its shape, and then fashion the perfect key. The key is not your argument. It is their own motivation, shaped and presented in a way that opens the door for you. Let's return to that meeting room where you once failed. This time, you enter differently. You are silent. You listen. You hear your rival propose an idea. It is flawed. The old you would have attacked. The new you finds the one good part of it. That's an interesting foundation, you say. What if we built on that by, you have validated them, and then gently started to steer the conversation? As the conversation continues, you ask questions that expose the flaws in the original idea, but you frame them as collaborative problem solving. How would we handle this potential issue? What's our contingency for that? The team, including your rival, begins to modify the idea, guided by your questions. They are arriving at the very solution you wanted all along, but they are doing it together, as a team. At the end of the meeting, a final plan is formed. It is your plan. But the head of the department turns to your rival and says, "Great initiative. Your leadership on this was fantastic." And you are the first one to clap. You smile warmly. You have achieved your objective 100%. You have strengthened your position. And you have made the person who was once your adversary feel like a champion. This is Machiavellian art in its highest form. You have moved from a player in the game to the architect of the game itself. This is the ultimate freedom. You are no longer a slave to your ego, no longer trapped in the petty cycle of winning and losing arguments. You operate from a place of quiet strength and deep knowledge. You see the world as it is, and you can move through it with a grace and effectiveness that will seem almost magical to those still trapped in the old ways. The journey began with a simple lie, that power is loud. It took you through the painful unraveling of your own ego. It revealed a profound truth, that true power is invisible. It showed you the path of transformation, from a clumsy fighter to a silent master. Now, you stand at the end of that path, not as a different person, but as the person you were meant to be, stripped of illusion and armed with truth. This power is a great responsibility. You can use it to build or to destroy. You can use it to advance your own selfish ends, or you can use it to guide teams, families, and organizations toward better outcomes. Machiavelli was not teaching evil, he was teaching reality. The choice of how to use this potent knowledge rests entirely with you. The tool is neutral. The morality is in the hand that wields it. Do not fear this knowledge. Embrace it. The world is full of people playing the loud, foolish game. Let them. Your power comes from your refusal to join them on their stage. Your strength comes from your silence. Your success will come from an understanding of human nature so deep that you can achieve anything, not by force, but by gentle, invisible, and undeniable influence. So the next time you feel the urge to win an argument, to prove someone wrong, to show how smart you are, take a breath and ask yourself a different question. What is my real objective here? And what is the quietest, most intelligent path to achieving it? The answer to that question is the beginning of true power. The greatest intelligence is not in having the right answer, but in never needing to prove it.